KJ in the studio right now. She's going to be my guest for this first hour on Sleepless with Steve. Very interested, very anxious to talk to you too about your kind of background with movies and such. I know we kind of go back and forth, we banter, you know what I mean, and stuff like that in between our own shifts, but very nice to have you with me tonight.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here. Lord knows I'm never sleeping.
I was gonna say, I did give Dominic the night off again. He will be back in 2 weeks from tonight. I'm off next week. I'll talk more about that next hour, but I will be back the following week, which is Wednesday the 30th. We'll be talking, Dominic and I will be talking the new film Logan Lucky. But again, so I want to get to like kind of know your taste, because even though we talk a lot, you know what I mean, I haven't talked. We haven't talked explicitly about film. We go from
we kind of just branch off on a lot of topics.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's always like these odd hours, like 3 o'clock in the morning. But it is great to have kind of a formal one-on-one with you. So I mean, I'll ask fully loaded questions. What else am I good for? So I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to hit you with the favorite movie, because I hate getting that question.
Ooh.
I don't like it.
I don't know that I could answer it.
I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you, and I have enough gripes about that as is. But like, so talk about your background with movies and such. Like, how do you kind of view film in a way? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of films do you seek out? You know what I mean? Just talk about kind of your general consensus with movies.
For the most part, like I enjoy, pretty much I enjoy most movies. Like, there's not a whole lot of them that I am strongly like, that I strongly dislike. But a lot of the movies that I like go and seek out, like I'll see them in theaters, are ones that I've read as a book, mainly for like the adaptation and like seeing how close they got it, and seeing kind of like what they've changed and stuff. And then I'm also really, really big into like historical stuff. So anything that's had like that historical background sense into it, I really, really enjoy. Indeed,
like war movies and such.
Yes.
Big.
Absolutely,
big
I'm very much into, especially historical war movies, of like not just the fictional aspect of it, but like ones that really portray things that have actually happened and stuff like that. Like I do enjoy those movies a lot.
All right, I was gonna say, some of your favorite war movies, or some ones that really stick out to you as really being either authentic or being extremely meaningful.
Two in particular, and we've talked about this before, but two in particular that come to mind right now is American Sniper. I was a huge fan of that. Still can't sit through it without bawling my eyes out. And then also Unbroken. I made it through all of Unbroken. I got to the very, very end. And then there's this little tidbit where they got the actual guy to come in. And like, because the movie, I don't know if you've like, how much background you have on this movie, but Unbroken was actually, I believe it was directed by Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie did that one, yes.
And it was based on this actual guy. And he was supposed to compete in the Olympics. And he never got to. And so he was like, what? I want to say 70 something. And finally like finished the race that he was supposed to do in the Olympics. And he died like a few weeks before the filming, like before the film came out.
I remember hearing about that.
I was so upset, but they did this little like snippet of him like finishing the race and everything at the very end, and I like made it through the whole movie until that part, and I just bawled.
You thought you were in the clear. You thought
I did. I was like, man, I did so good with this. Like, I'm so proud of me. And then I look up and I was like, oh no, here they come. Here's the tears.
Now, are you someone that gets emotional during movies quite often, or are you somebody that kind of, you know what I mean,
really
hides it? Are you somebody that, like, I always say, is like cognizant that it is just a movie, as they say?
Yeah, like most movies, I'm very much aware that they're just movies. Like, I'm the person in horror movies that'll sit there and I'll talk my way through the whole movie of like, well, why would you go downstairs? And I like break down all the flaws in the movies. But like, mainly war movies are the ones that get me a lot, as far as like, my family is very military. So those ones, like, it's very easy to put myself in their shoes and just be like, this could have been anyone in my family. And realistically, as someone who was set to join the military, like, that could have been me too, and it can happen to like anyone. So those ones really like are the only ones that really get me. There are a few though. I cried in Marley and Me.
You did cry in Marley.
I don't like dying animals because I really like fluffy animals.
That's a rough one. That is a rough one. Now I know obviously no sane person goes to the movie theater as much as me. You know what I mean? I go about.
You're not wrong.
No, it's true. I'm not right. I'm not right. That's a different story. But I mean, I go to roughly 10, like this month. I keep saying this month is dead. This month I will be lucky. I think I've kind of padded it out a little bit. I think I'll see 7 or 8 movies in the theater this month, and that's a record low. I cannot remember the last time I've gone.
Like, I can't think of any movies that I'll go to the theater for.
See, I was just going to ask you, though. I was just going to ask you, too, like, what makes you, and I know it's different. I know this is not a very easy, linear question to answer, but, like, because you don't go to the movies as much as me, what makes you want to go to the theater and see a movie? Like, and I know you probably see trailers via the internet or via, watching television or something like that. What makes you want to go out? What makes you actually, first off, get up, put on pants, pay for the movie? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. What makes you want to go see a movie in theaters?
Honestly, the only ones that I ever see in theaters are movies that I actually like want to see. And what I mean by that is like things that I have a personal interest in. Like very, very rarely will I go to a movie for like something that I don't already know about, of like, ooh, you know what, this looked kind of good. But like if I've read the book or read the comics, or like I know one of the actresses that's in it and I loved her in a different movie, stuff like that. Like if I have something in it that like goes, oh, you know what, I know a little bit about something of this movie, either the storyline or like the director that was involved, some of the actors and actresses involved, those kinds of are the movies that I'll like go in and see. But like if I don't know anything about it, it's very rare for me to just like, oh yeah, I'll just go to the movies. It's fine.